What is luck, and is there a way to become luckier? I believe that luck comes from hard work. The harder you work, the more opportunities you will have, and with those more opportunities to shine, the luckier you can become. Everybody in their life is going to have bad luck. It's just a commonly known fact, but it's the way you work through that bad luck that determines if you can become lucky. Some people in the world think they're simply unlucky people, but these are your armchair quarterbacks who are scared to stick their neck out into the ring and actually fight the battle. These people have no fight or ambition to work hard, and because they don't work hard, they do not have the opportunities that some have, and they cannot make the most of them, and thus not become lucky. Here are some quotes from some of the most famous and successful people in the world. Seneca, who was a Roman philosopher, who spent his life's work dedicated to talking about and thinking about mystical concepts like luck, said, "Luck is when preparation meets opportunity." This is simply saying that when you prepare hard for something, you will have opportunities, and you will be able to reap the benefits of these opportunities and become what people call lucky. Thomas Jefferson said, "I'm a great believer in luck, and I find that the harder I work, the more of it I have." This is a great statement coming from a man who led our country. Langston Coleman said, "Luck is what you have left over after you give 100%. This is simply saying that if you give 100% in what you're doing, that you can have the opportunity, you can have opportunities, and you can capitalize on these opportunities and become lucky. A famous proverb I found in my research says, "Luck is the idol of the idle." When I came across this statement, I was really wowed by it, because it's a very powerful statement that is simply saying that those who are idle, they idle luck, because they're only wishing for it, and they can only wish for it because they haven't put in the work to where they can expect to be lucky. My personal favorite out of all these quotes is one from Arnold Palmer, one of my childhood heroes. He says here, "It's a funny thing, the more I practice, the luckier I get." Coming from one of the most successful golfers to ever play the game, this is a great statement, because it simply pays tribute to how if you practice hard, you can become lucky. And Mr. Palmer was a very hard worker, and he was lucky and was also very successful. I read a book this year called The Outliers. The Outliers is a book about people who the world calls lucky, but it elaborated on their stories and the course of events that they took to get to where they are and where they were in their life. One of the things that the book covered was something called the 10,000 hour rule, which is about how if you spend 10,000 hours at a trade, you will perfect it. Three groups, I guess, in this book, they talked about them. It was Bill Gates, Bill Joy, and the Beatles. Bill Gates and Bill Joy both were very gifted computer programmers who had a passion for computers right in the start of the computer age. They spent hours on end in the computer lab honing their skills and trying to become the best they could be, sometimes to the point of exhaustion and nights with no sleep. People noticed their hard work and gave them opportunities to move up the ladder in the computer world. They took most of these opportunities and continued to work hard in their positions, and eventually worked their way to where they became billionaires and some of the richest men in the world. This simply didn't happen by chance. Although some of these events might seem lucky, it was their hard work in the beginning and over the course of their time programming that got them to where they eventually ended up. The Beatles had a similar position, except their passion was for music. The Beatles began playing in the club in Hamburg, where they were faced with less than standard conditions to play in, and really came together as a group through long nights playing to kind of reckless group of people. People noticed the Beatles and how hard they worked at what they loved, and they were also gifted or blessed with more opportunities along the way, until they eventually came to America and became one of the greatest bands to ever play. This shows that the harder you work, the more opportunities you can have. Like Bill Gates, like Bill Joy, and like the Beatles, they all worked hard, and people still called them lucky. However, they they were given opportunities over the course of their careers, and they made the most of them.